Hello and welcome to another edition of Motor Capital. And a rainy day. We had a string of these for a while, but had tickets to go to Orchestra Hall to see the Detroit Symphony, all of $3.13. It was well worth it. I certainly have an appreciation for symphony music. It was a nice performance. All right, take two. I was going to do more video, but it rained all day, so we're going to try this again on May 3rd, which was a Wednesday. And I had tickets for the Tigers playing the New York Mets. Nemo's is a good place to have a burger and a drink before the game. Now, this is the 1968 schedule. This was back when there were only 10 teams in the American League and 10 in the National League. So if you won the pennant, you went right to the World Series. California was a team back then. They had the All-Star game in Houston. Washington, that was the old Washington team. They're in the National League now. But that was the schedule. There were 10 teams in the American League, 10 in the Nationals. So they played 9 teams 18 times. It was a perfectly balanced schedule. 9 times 18 is 162. So that was no interleague or anything like that. And geez, back just a couple years ago, or was it just last year, we played teams in the Central Division 19 times. They adjusted that, and I believe it was this year. They only play them 13 times. This is inside Nemo's, and there's a gentleman that's a big Babe Ruth fan. And so the bar was telling me that this guy comes in and decorates the whole bar with Babe Ruth paraphernalia and banners and stats and even license plates and all number of things. And then this coming Saturday, they had a big to-do. The guy that does it hands out Baby Ruth bars, hot dogs, and all that. Anyways, I put A1 sauce on my burger. They have good burgers at Nemo's. And I washed it down with a Coke. Maybe. Grill is open. So there were some other patrons just grabbing something to eat before game time. The idea was to make it there by opening pitch, but that did not happen. Missed the first inning and a half, but oh well. Half the fun is getting there, as they say, right? All right, so taking Michigan Avenue, we still got the brick streets. The streetcars ran in the middle there. They asphalted the rails over, but in some places you can still see the rails. All right, making the approach to downtown via Michigan Avenue. And I'm going to park, though. I'm going to make a left here shortly and park in the MGM Grand parking lot because it's self-parking and it's free. This is the Gar building. I call it just the castle. That's easier to remember, but it's a Civil War remembrance building. All right, off yonder is the Motor City Casino, and there's the hotel. But yeah, right here, they got, I think it's 9 stories. Parking, self-parking, it's free. That's the key word, it's free. So I always opt for that as opposed to paying on the street. All right, plus you get a decent view out here. I think I'm up on, this time I'm on the 4th floor. Off yonder, you can see the light standards for Comerica Park. So just a little bit of a jaunt, and Lord knows exercise is good for you, right? So, got to walk off that burger. The Masonic Temple off in the distance. Detroit Cass Tech even closer by. One of the premier high schools in Detroit. DTE Energy has a big presence here. They have their headquarters. All right, and then the next day, I'm back in the garage. I spent the night in MGM parking garage. Actually, no, I did not. But I came back because there was another function at the junction. I would have liked to have gotten some video of the Tiger game. The Tigers beat the Mets, which was great. The second game of a doubleheader. They ended up sweeping the Mets out of town, which was lovely. There's the IM Temple. That was a film processing place, the white building there. Just checking the urban planning thing, Fox Theater. Again, the Comerica Park and Ford Field beyond that. But yeah, the function in the Junction today was Drinks by Design. And it's an outfit that promotes Detroit and urban planning in a lot of sense, and small businesses, like an incubator kind of thing. Yeah, they focus on Detroit, which is a good thing. I've been to a lot of their functions, and there are some sharp whippersnappers. I'm a baby boom generation myself, but there's millennials. Let's see. Gen Z is behind baby boomers, then millennials behind them. No, Gen X, then millennials, then Gen Z. I don't know what they do after Gen Z, if they go to A1, A2, or how they do it. All right, well, this is the DTE Energy quarters, not to be confused with DET, which is my website. Off in the distance, there is the hotel that's being built on the site of what used to be Joe Louis Arena, but they tore that down, and part of the bankruptcy deal allowed a private developer to come in there and put up a hotel, and I think that's going to open real soon. Here's a classic building, Salvation Army, but look at their logo here. Got the nice eagle, and then it says Blood and Fire. Wowie kazowie. They're pretty serious about their stuff for sure, but classic building, and at night, at least last I can recall, they had like neon lights strobing, and it was really looking quite cool. So, but this is daytime, so I don't know when they turn the lights on. They have a nice bike rack. There's the Fleur de Lis. We have the French heritage here in Detroit. The Book Tower. Well, wait a second. This is the book, what was the Book Cadillac Hotel, excuse me. The Penobscot Building, King Kong Building. Here's the Book Tower. And there was some, it looks like they were doing some window cleaning, or they completed the sandblasting as far as I can tell. That building was looking kind of old, but now it's all spiffy now that they sandblasted it. But I'm not sure about tenants. They need to round up some tenants there. Rosa Parks Transit Center. This is a nice visual. I like the design there. Here's 5 Light Standard, and there must have been a function at the Junction there. It's a Westin hotel. Across the street is Hotel Indigo, and then you got color-coded a parking garage, so you just have to remember which color floor you parked on. So this is the Westin Hotel, and I don't know if that's Chief Penobscot, but there's one of them is the Cadillac, the founder of Detroit. But a lot of nice detail on this building, to be sure. All that stuff costs extra these days, so it would be cost prohibitive. It wouldn't be in the budget. So that's what's cool about older buildings. They have style. All right, well, people in Detroit are familiar about the hot dog wars between Lafayette and American, which is right next door. So they're both grilling up some hot dogs here. And this. All right, here on the phone now, you do your tickets all by phone. So here it was, Thursday, May 4th, 5:30 to 8:30. And I looked across the street from the Coney place, and yeah, you can see all the people in there. So that's where the function at the Junction is, this old bank building. and it was like Detroit's Wall Street. There was a whole slew of banks within a couple block radius. All right, so that's the Waterboard building. There's the Guardian building, and here, a company called, well, here, Design Core Event. So I know I have arrived. And different companies, like smaller companies that are trying to get their foot in the door. So they have upper level, and then on the lower level, they got more stuff. I love the staircase going down to the lower level. But let's look up first. This is the ceiling inside this building, and there's all sorts of patterns up here. And they had to do, plaster work and all that, they had to do a lot of restoration. Apparently there was some water damage in this building. This building sat vacant for quite some time, and if I remember correctly, the lady said the building was purchased in 2017, and they spent a couple years on renovation, and now they're inside. This is the conference room. I like the artwork. Art is everywhere, but yeah, it adds something to be sure. When you add art to the equation, it's just a huge bonus. All right, September is the month of design. I've covered their event. September's just unreal what these guys are up to. They go nuts, but they're into developing neighborhoods, the urban planning, the business model, creating jobs, creating sustainable places where people can live and have fun. This was the floor plan of the bank building. They had a couple conference centers there. I was looking where the bank vaults were, but that's on the lower level. We'll see that in a little bit. This is just a gorgeous building, so I have to do the 360. The lighting's fabulous. Every floor has a different kind of lamp thing. Those things are just gorgeous. And just the stairwell here, too. I think marble steps, nice railing. Every floor had a different light, and I guess from outside it even looks better. But I wanted to look down on the crowd here, because there were quite a few people mingling down there, having a drink or two and commiserating. The DJ was off in that corner, and that was off limits. I would have loved to have checked that out, shown you that. Here's a nice plan. I like the green and the white there, the way it's speckled. All right, now I made it to the lower level, and there were some other companies, but this is where the vaults were here. You can tell by these massive doors and these hinges. Oh yeah, your money was safe here. And then they had, I think they might have been Brick Stadium originally, and then maybe Tiger Stadium. I'm not sure when that picture was taken. But, yeah, there's like 4 floors in this thing, and then there was a 5th level, too, that was shorter ceilings, but we'll be able to get a view from the 4th floor in a little bit. Somebody told me they had tours, and I said, I'm all over that. They had somebody built this structure here, and I know you're supposed to pull out blocks, so I was going to try pulling this one out just to see what happened. And, I'm going to let it go because I just had a feeling it was going to come tumbling down. All right, pride. Got to have that. It's a good thing to have, and we're all proud to be American for sure, right? This is an umbrella holder. Who knew? They had all those things. I was scratching my head, and then I saw the umbrella on there, so that's what it's for. All right, the Hudson's building. The tower is going up. Right now, the David Stott is a little bit taller. Oh, here we're going to get a little presentation and go on a little tour. So let's listen in.
There were 22 banks within a 2-mile radius at this point. And we have the slideshow going, so you can kind of see the progress of this building over time. But there are some interesting facts about this building. Because there were so many banks in a closed radius, they actually had a tunnel system underground, so they were all connected to each other, and that helped them not going to be checking that out today, but that's just kind of like a fun fact that there's this like intricate tunnel system under the city for bank deposits as demolished, and then what we're standing in now was built in 1917. And Albert Kahn was the designer. Are you guys familiar with Albert Kahn? Anybody? Yeah. He was named the Detroit architect because he did so much work in Detroit. He did a lot of manufacturing plants. He did the Ford Rouge plant, which a lot of people know about. And he did a lot of collaborations with Corrado Carducci, who was an Italian sculptor and artist. And Corrado Carducci designed the intricate ceiling that you see on the first floor. And then he also designed all of the carvings and work on the exterior, the intricate ceilings. And if you look at the ceiling and walk out there, you'll notice there's like little coins designed into the ceiling. So it's kind of like tying back to like money and like, I don't know, everything has meaning. There's a lot of like little details in the ceiling. So we do have some of the original prints. So as we go to the different floors, we have some of these frames. So you can kind of look at the original floor plan. Yeah, there were some interesting facts on this. I don't have it all memorized, but this building was featured in a few like historical movies, and there's some other fun facts. But it was vacant for so long, like water was seeping in and the plaster was pulling away from the lab, so a lot of it had to be recreated. That's right next to our building.
And it's further down.
Yeah.
You used to have, do you remember when there was a food court in the other one?
Yes.
Yeah.
Area. We're not really going to go in there, but. And then if you want to peek in here, this is one of our like private rooms. So if you need to have some heads down space and just get away from the rest of the team, you can. There's a lounge chair in there and then a desk. So if that ever happens, this would be another elevator. Past the secret fifth floor. We're going to the roof deck. Woodworkers who did that, those are all like little individual pieces. I think
Oh, a lot of nice detail. Even the pillows look great. But you get a nice view here from the fourth floor. And it's used as a conference room here, but they got this room appointed up nice, and they have really kick-ass furniture too. Nice wood paneling. Herman Kiefer or whatnot was the furniture designer for some of this stuff, but yeah, they spent some time with the interior design elements. Look at the, what are they, cove molding, whatever up top, or crown molding.
radiators were in all the windows to create extra seating. What was that? Yes, yeah.
Oh, look at the nice pretty flowers. That's Campus Martius down yonder. Like the wood benches. Yeah, it was nice to take a little tour of the building. That's always part of it. I love the historical buildings in Detroit, and whenever you get a chance to do something like this, I'm all over it, jumping on that bandwagon. Plus, these are the original wood-framed windows. This is really cool. So yeah, they did a great job on the restoration. It's great to see that things don't totally get abandoned and then just torn down. Here's the triangular shape of the American Coney Island. Again, we're all proud to be American. But yeah, just a neat little room. This company is, I should get more of the specifics on what they actually do, but they look like they're a good tenant, a good fit here. They're not into the banking thing as it was before, but the time is off here, though. It looks like 6:47. They have to spring forward yet. I'm a stickler on time. Look at this nice wood table. Very sweet. And then, well, art is everywhere, even on the shelf here. And then they had this doggy thing, and then it looks like a love pillow. Here's the building from the outside. And up there on the, I don't know, on the fifth, there it would have been nice to have checked that out. Now I'm back in the lower level checking out the vault, and our tour guide, I didn't get her name, but she was telling us some of these safes have not been cracked open. So they said anybody willing to try take it for a whirl, if you can get in, it's you. It's all you. They had some, we need Geraldo Rivera to do that kind of stuff. I would have gotten some dynamite, I think. That probably would have been the ticket. Some of these were opened already, and I just had to double check, but no, somebody got here before I did and cleaned it out. Bummer. Ugh. You gotta be quick on the spot. All right, well, some of these vendors had candy. Candy. Sugar. Yeah. So I tried it. Even one of these things, that was really tasty. Like rock candy. All right, so this was the manufacturer of these doors, and they had all number of things that you had to flip and turn around, and probably was quite the process to get it open. But yeah, probably would have taken a couple sticks of dynamite. That looks like it was pretty thick stuff. All right, taking the stairs back up to the main level. I like the light shade, but yeah, they had a, and then the marble floor was really cool too. Here was a book on furniture, or let's see, what's it say? Herman Miller, A Way of Living. So that was a furniture designer too. A lot of these places are probably like Grand Rapids based. Office furniture and the like is a big thing out that way. Steelcase is one of the companies. Here, design is good business. Photo, social media, video, prototype, website architecture. You got to wear a lot of hats when you're in a small business and so forth. But this is a good design is good business for sure. Most definitely. Couldn't agree more. So there were some entrepreneurs displaying their wares. I probably should have done the interview process and just spend a few minutes with each of the people, but instead I admire the ceiling again. But yeah, this is great. It's good that they repurposed this building and it's no longer vacant. There's still a lot of buildings in Detroit that need to be repurposed, but that day will come. Okay, I was keeping an eye on the Coney Islands, making sure they weren't going anywhere because I had a game plan down the way. The David Whitney building with the Aloft Hotels is, oh, here we go. Look at this. An Instamatic camera. This is old school, just like kind of like my camcorder, except that's older. And then check this out.
Panasonic.
Big swinger, Polaroid.
Oh, lordy, big swinger. That's got some sexual overtones, doesn't it?
It sure does.
Oh, yeah. Well, these kind of pictures, these are great. Even the younger generation, those Gen Zers probably are getting into this now, too. What goes around comes around kind of thing. I mean, granted, you can take pictures on your cell phone all day long. But when you have a Polaroid picture, can watch that thing develop before your very eyes, what's not to like? All right, so these are gophers feeding at the trough or something. I'm not exactly sure what that's supposed to signify, but these are these cement or concrete reliefs that they have that arch around the door, and quite a bit of detail. So Max Moda, gonna have to Google them and see what their whole thing is about. But yeah, look at these. I'm not sure what you call them. They're like reliefs, but they're concrete pressed. All right, the Guardian building. That's just a gorgeous Art Deco sculpture. But yeah, our tour guide. Oh, and look at this. It's like the Penobscot building. I don't know if this is being woke or what. Those aren't traditional rainbow colors, I don't think necessarily, but it might be promoting diversity or something, and oh, Lord knows we can't have diversity. Oh, the horror of it all. But yeah, come to find out, not everybody's the same. Everybody's unique in their own right. So yeah, what a gorgeous building this is, and I'm going to have to come by later at night when it's totally dark and check out the lighting inside the building. But yeah, this was Detroit's Wall Street. It went on for a couple of blocks, kind of like the financial district. All right, well, here was the game plan to stop in and get a Coney. It's up to $3.75 for a Coney dog now. So prices have gone up. Inflation has reared its ugly head yet again, but this is a neat little place. So here's my Coney, and then looking at that Tiger schedule for May, they get, I'm sure, some Tiger fans. So I'm halfway done, and Glenda Lewis likes this place. She gave it her stamp of approval, her sign of approval. Never been here. Prime and proper. I understand it's a good steakhouse, and it's been open for a few years. And colorful tulips. I'm in the Capitol Park area now. This building's been repurposed, the Malcolmson building. Geez, it was... Well, I started Motor Capital back in 1996, and this was an empty shell here, the Farwell building. I did explore that building before it got repurposed, and boy, it needed some work. But yeah, it's good to see that this park has kind of come back to life. Capitol Park is a nice triangular shaped park. Some of these people have outdoor seating now, which is nice. The warmer weather is fast approaching us, so that will be a good thing to eat outdoors. Not sure what this place is here, but there were some people inside. Looks like they were eating. But yeah, this is the Farwell building. The door was locked, though, so it's kind of like an exclusive residence. There's some retail on the first level. Here, a crane operator. This is for the Hudson's building. That would be a great view. One of these days, maybe I'll climb up there and see what... Take a look-see around. Yeah. Get the 360 panoramic look. And then a bottle rocket. They need to repaint this. They have good lighting to light it up, but they should get an artist to put up some nice artwork up there, or a nice mural or something. Cafe de Mongo's a speakeasy. Boy, I just, on the news, let's see, I'm doing the audio here on Monday, May 8th, but I guess a few days prior, because Channel 7 showed a video of a vandal throwing a chair through the window. What was he thinking? That's absolutely nuts. Well, anyways, they'll fix it, hopefully. Cafe, or the downtown synagogue was right next door. This is inside the David Whitney building, and this is one of the most beautiful atriums you'll probably ever see here or there or anywhere. They got a nice tile floor. It's WXYZ. It's not affiliated with the TV station, but I guess they have artwork throughout this bar over here, and it's for sale. So I would imagine you just talk to the bartender and you could work something out. They have a fire outside, or some flame action, not necessarily like a wood burning thing, but those are nice, because if you ever... Campfires are great, but your clothes really pick up the smoke kind of thing, and you got to wash your clothes right away, because you'll smell it the next day for sure. Born in Detroit. Yeah, they're promoting Henry Ford Museum in Greenfield Village. That's certainly a local jewel. All right, well, 55 degrees. Things are starting to warm up. Across the way, Blue. That's like a dance club, nightclub thing that seems popular with the young whippersnappers. And then this is still in the David Whitney building. They have a place where people can relax. This is Letterbox, and this harkens back to another time, but It's a huge letterbox, probably as nice as you'll see. Certainly in Detroit. Maybe New York they have some nice ones too, but it could hold a lot of letters. A lot of marble here in this David Whitney building. Plus they got pineapples on the railings leading up to the it goes, those railings go up through the atrium to the 4th floor anyways. Here's some history if you can do some speed reading. The finest in the country. Yeah, it is a very sweet building, and this was abandoned for years and years. And Small World USA had a small shop open on the 2nd level just for a short spell. I had a little retail operation. It's a pet-friendly place, too, so if you want to walk the dog, you certainly can. All right, Grand Circus Park. This is a fun park to be sure. We have... Ooh, look at that. Getting crazy on that four-wheeler. All right, queue line now. I don't think they even charge. Oh, there they are again. I don't think they charge for the queue line anymore. Nobody was really paying, and nobody was enforcing it. So I think they just said, the heck with it. So as far as I understand, it's a freebie. So if you want to get from downtown up to midtown or vice versa, you can certainly hop on that. Here, Hazen S. Pingree. He was the idol of the people. Yes, he was. He was a good mayor for the city of Detroit. And we've had a few good mayors here and there, and then we've had some atrocious mayors also. All right, so got to walk back to the vehicle. Uh-oh, somebody got a ticket, it looks like. This building, they're working on it, but it still needs to be totally repurposed. Cliff Bells. Oh, we got to step inside here. They usually have entertainment like Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday kind of thing. I was able just to take a peek inside. They have a nice stage in the back there. Happy hour, 5 to 7. Looks like you can get a martini here. But yeah, the stage up front where the red curtain is, they were about ready to start another performance. Oh, this is like, I think officially the full moon was May 5th in the afternoon, like 1:40 in the afternoon, but Thursday night and Friday night were the optimum nights for the moon action. So yeah, it's like 99% at this point. But trying to focus in here, but yeah, there's the book tower. There's a few lights on there now. I'm not sure if they'll have condos or what exactly they're gonna make of all that. But yeah, that was abandoned for years and years. Yeah, the full moon just to the left there. I like tracking the moon and what the moon's up to. You just never know. Does all number of things. All right, and then our street lights. This is like a double 10 here if you're into the dominoes kind of thing. But yeah, we have the digital street lights. And it's always good to have good lighting downtown. Here's the old school street lamps. This is a dual post one. Those are still cool too, though. All right, well, the wildlife. This was like... It was like bunny heaven. There was rabbits all over the place, and they're just munching away. Nary a worry, but I got to walk down that way, so they're going to have to scamper around. But, yeah, late at night, it was feeding time. But there's the parking deck off yonder that I got to walk back to. So I got some exercise, but I'll walk a country mile. Not to pay for parking. So again, there you have it, self-parking, which means free. You know, you park yourself. You can do the valet, but you're going to have to you'll get charged for that. All right, so I'm going to go. This time I parked up on the 7th floor. All right. Let's see if I got the right car. DET.com is the website. If you happen to miss an episode, I have the latest episodes on my website. Here's the train station, Michigan Central Station. There's the Little Caesar, and I'll give Little Caesars credit. They got a good price for their, I think it's $6.99 now for the medium pizza, or maybe they call it a large. Their standard size pizza. Across yonder, here's a competitor though, now open, Zizos. Sounds good, like a calzone. All right, well I made it back home, and I just got to turn the lights on here. There we go. This is a red light district, my kitchen is. But yeah, made it home before the 11 o'clock news. All righty then. All right, yes, there is a Kalamazoo. Fragile. Yeah, I like the street pattern in Detroit. This is a downtown area map. And if you kind of highlight an area, well, that's where the Cobo Hall was. Or it still is, but Joe Louis Arena's no longer there. This map definitely needs to be updated. But you have Woodward Avenue as the stem of the cup. And they don't even have Campus Martius in there yet. This is an older map, but we got the cup formation with the street pattern. There it was based off of Paris, and they were supposed to have the full circle, but we ended up with a cup. So I liked, and no Ford Field or Comerica Park here. This was before all that, but I say it's time to drink from the cup. Well, here's the diversity thing, and a lot of people like to discriminate against people mainly for the sexual and gender thing. That's a big thing about being woke and all that. But there's diversity in at least 9 different things here. This is the diversity puzzle. So, yeah, we all have some diversity. Everybody's unique in their own right. So for people to act like they're all woke and they're better than, or discounting other people for this, that, or the other is just a crock of bullshit. All right, anyways, let me get to my planning season here. The weather got warmer. I went to Home Depot and I'm trying a Xenia blend here. Marty's keeping an eye on me to make sure I do this right, but I had to stir up the flower beds up front. These are the ones that come up every year, perennials. Is that what it is? This used to be where I had a tree, but now I made this into a flower bed area. I'm going to have to fill up the bird feeder. The only thing I don't like is the squirrels. As soon as you dig up some dirt, the squirrels want to dig in and make it like it's their sandbox. Oh, what do you do to keep squirrels out? Because once you plant seed, it's like you don't want them tearing it up. All right, well, that's the seal for the Dearborn Heights. Oh, now I might get in trouble with this. YouTube gets their panties in a bunch if you do anything. So I'm just kind of showing the logo here for NBC. But the first Saturday in May, you got to watch the Kentucky Derby to be sure. That's an all-American national event, and you got to put that on your bucket list of things to do. You got to go at least once. Next year would be a good year to go because it's year 150. So, anyways, I'm getting off here at Livernois, and there's another function at the junction. And Michigan Avenue is a main thoroughfare here, but I'm going to go even further south. And I'm going to check out some mural action. But this is May 7th, which Sunday, and some train action. Gotta love this. Oh, yeah, well, the Cinco de Mayo parade. And it's usually held like the first Sunday in May is basically what they normally do it. and it just happens this is a couple days afterwards. But there's the eye in the sky, so my evil twin was on notice. Don't get up to any shenanigans because they're going to catch you. Okay, well, I got the map. The parade starts almost close to the Dearborn, well, real close to the Dearborn-Detroit border, but it goes across Verner, and then it ends at Clark Park. So the parade is supposed to start at noon, and there's already a nice crowd queued up, ready for the parade to come by. And here's 12:21. I figured I was late, but I'm looking down eastwardly. Here's something for everyone. If you're into like the flea market, garage sale type thing, well, there's a name for all those things, like a Gibraltar Trade Center type thing. Then you go under the train tracks here, and I love the arch pattern that you get when you go across through here. It's a pretty active rail line. They have murals adorning the place throughout, giving you a historical perspective. Here's a one lamp standard, so that's kind of neat too. And then Verner off to your left, and then Dick's. So right here at this junction, they got an intermodal container facility, so they're moving stuff from like point A to point B. And some of these, well, they're actually getting unloaded probably from the train tracks and then loaded onto trucks. All right, looking down Verner all the way down, I see the cop cars. They lead the parade, but they're still quite a distance off. So we had rain earlier in the morning, and I think that's probably what delayed it. But I'm going to walk down that way. Here, they're moving a container, but I think they're just setting it on the ground over there. But, yeah, I guess they work 7 days a week. This was Sunday, early afternoon, CSX Intermodal Terminals. All right, $5 car wash, and they got a Piranha splash, too. We'll take a closer look. Here's the the towers for the new Gordie Howe International Bridge. One of them's hiding behind the trees there. That's the Windsor side. I really didn't get that great of a view. All right. Way down yonder is the Ford Rouge complex, but all right, the real boss. Okay, and if you want to sit in a big chair, probably get your whole family here. This is the Mexican flag one. But there's a good variety or a good diversity of nationalities in Southwest Detroit. It's not all Mexicans. There's a lot of Puerto Ricans. Okay, Verner and Dick's. This is a neat intersection here. They had some food trucks, and they were getting popularized. I liked the Rooster. This is that guarded the car wash area. And then the tulips were a-bloomin'. I guess the big Holland Tulip Festival is the first Saturday in May. If you want to go to the western side of the state, they got all number of tulips. All right, no parking because it's a tow-away zone, so can't do that for the parade. Verner Street Station. I don't know if that place is still open. Years ago when I worked at Cadillac, sometimes we went there for lunch, back when you could have a liquid lunch. All right, this is the start of the parade. lot of restaurants in Southwest Detroit, so if you have a hankering or you get hungry, you can. You're not going to go for wanting. All right, and we're going to see a lot of murals, and they keep popping up like mushrooms, and I love this. I like to say art is everywhere, and the more the merrier. Let's do it up. People are less inclined to destroy neighborhoods when things look artistically well. It's when things are grimy and grungy and stuff that people don't give a rat's ass anymore. There were a lot of pageantry, like beauty queens. I'm not sure what all the titles were, but a lot of pretty ladies. I don't know if it's sometimes maybe you could get in trouble. I'd like to, with the Mexican heritage, it's like hot tamales is like what I like to say, but using a food reference. But some people might get their panties in a bunch and say, you can't say that. So, yeah, strike that from the record. Looks like a Fruit of the Loom kind of float, but the roosters are a big thing for a lot of the restaurants. Spanish is a little rusty, but I think they're singing Happy Cinco de Mayo to everybody. But a nice parade, certainly a community parade. Local businesses do it, politicians, whatever. You got something going on, you want to be in the parade, I'm sure you just have to kind of register and sign up, and bada boom, bada bing, you're in the parade. And that's cool because then it has that local flavor, as it should. That's usually what parades are all about. The local people, the local culture. I think those are agave. They make tequila out of that stuff. Detroit Institute of Arts, well, they're promoting the contributions of Mexican Americans, and Diego Rivera and his wife did up the DIA. I just love these murals. They're all over the place. Yeah, and it's a dog-friendly event, too. So if you want to bring the doggy along, not a problem. I would imagine you just have to clean up after it. There's some examples of some nice iron grating. That seems to be a thing. Check out this locomotive. I like the smokestack from the locomotive. This was real clever what they did. Pretty functional there. There was some thought that went into that thing, the Michigan Central Station. Yes. I like when people are clever. All right, well, Corktown's part of this, adjoining neighborhood to Southwest Detroit. And so they're part of it, and Ford Motor did their thing with the Michigan Central Station. Oh, celebrate diversity. Oh, the horror of it all. Yeah, what would Ron DeSantis say about all that? Oh, these lowriders are a big to-do also. So they work on the suspensions, and they get these things to rattle and roll and shake and flex and contort and do all number of things. Yeah. Go up on an angle. Wowie kazowie. I wanted to see, here's a little bouncing action. God, a station wagon. Man, how long has it been since they've had one of those around? our family had station wagons. We had 4 kids in our family, so that was in the era before SUVs. Horses are always a crowd favorite, to be sure. All right, well, here the skyline of Detroit from the Windsor perspective, the Ambassador Bridge. There's some cute little buildings through here that have nice designs, but then it's not totally inhabited. It's a vibrant neighborhood, but it still needs some work. We have to focus on a few things here. Oh, and then here's a local business, New Metro Construction. So they're showing off some of their heavy artillery. And then I don't remember these guys from past parades. I don't come every year to see it, but they're all dressed up in colorful costumes here. Not sure what the story is behind all this, but maybe one of these days I'll figure it out. Oh, and then communion dresses. A very religious community, certainly, in this area. Even a Chinese restaurant, imagine that. But Chinese restaurants are great for late night food. Okay, Domingo, that's May 7th. So later in the day, they're going to have a performance there. But the whole weekend was a big to-do kind of down in the Bagley area. They had music and all number of events. I didn't make it down that far. To put your morning paces in and get a little exercise, they had that going. Felt like you wanted to jump around. Big time wrestling's a big to-do also in the Mexican culture. So they were advertised along with these nice colorful dresses and food and all that. Oh, I'll give it to the Mexican people. They know how to throw a party. Kind of combine the food and the drinking and the dancing and the singing and the entertainment and the artwork. You know, they don't miss a step or miss anything in that process. They're kind of almost like we start the parade thing in the year with St. Patrick's Day parade. And then we go into the Nain Rouge Parade, which chases the Little Red Dwarf out of the city of Detroit. And then we have the Cinco de Mayo Parade. So it's kind of like parade season a little bit early in the year. I think what we need is all nationalities to have their own parade, their own festive thing. Back in the day, we're inside the church here. Yeah, got a little church action in there for you also, so that's good. We got all that covered because this was a Sunday. A lot of these floats going by did the throwing the candy out for all the kids. I was so tempted. My evil twin wanted to clean up, but I said, hey, no, that's for the kids. We'll let that go. But I have a sweet tooth, to be sure. Even the dogs were checking out the parade and having a good time, wearing their glasses to get a better look. But yeah, it just went on and on. It was a long parade. A lot of vehicles in this parade. And then they were cooking up some corn. Then here's like an old milk truck, but they repurposed it to sell exotic fireworks. So I'm sure some of that was going down here in the evening. And yeah. Some more heavy artillery. This is tree service, so if you need any of that work, it looks like they got you covered there. You know, live music always works, so a lot of floats that were going by, there were entertainers. All right, now we've reached the end of the parade, so the Detroit police officers, they did a fabulous job. They had the streets blocked off. Every intersection had one or two police officers keeping an eye on things. I didn't see any trouble or anybody acting up, and it was great. A nice festive experience. The day turned out to be just perfectly lovely. Here's a nice building here, but it looks uninhabited. Here, won't you bring back all those colors to my dreams? And this is words from Sixto Rodriguez. I have one of his DVDs, and I know that song he talks about. That's a great CD that I have from him. Actually, I got it from my friend Jeff and never returned it. I guess I should, but even the dandelions pop out a little bit, look great. Now, this is where the parade started, Woodmere and Verner. Look at the nice purple tree there. There's a cemetery on the south side, okay, and then General Patton Park on the north side. So it starts almost right there at the Dearborn border. I heard a call to prayer because there's a mosque just down the street. So the parade ends right at Clark Park, but the festivities just continue throughout the day. All that walking made me thirsty, so I got myself a Gatorade from a vendor. It was $2. That's not bad. Notice of violations. So, yeah, there's some urban planning issues here. And, yeah, it looks like some vandals have gotten in. So they'll have to do some work. This one's all boarded up, too. You would think somebody would take on the challenge of repurposing this. Monrosa. The bones are good, it looks like. But, yeah, there's going to have to be some work done inside. St. Gabriel's Academy. So this is the school. And I was in the church just earlier. Had a quick peek. Well, the eye in the sky. So even if I wanted to act up, it wasn't going to happen. They'd have it. I'd be dead to rights. They'd have me. All right. Compassion, family, all that stuff. It's all good. This was a theater at one time. Boy, has this fallen on hard times. It's available for sale. I think after a theater became a furniture store, again, pet friendly, but sometimes the pets go at it a little bit, so you gotta keep an eye on them. But colorful. Oh, that's it, folks. Thanks for watching.